Within this video, we're going to be going over a couple of the Voopoo pod kits. This is going to be like a dual review over the pair of the kits with myself and Jess going over them. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer, more like a discussion, how we feel about the functions and things like that. But yeah, so we thought we'd spin this one a little bit differently to the last than some of the other videos. So I think sometimes it's good to have a different perspective. So I hope you enjoy the video. Right, this evening, me and Jess, we're going to be going over a couple of the Voopoo Argos pod kits. Which one are you using?
So I've got the Argus P2.
And I'm going to be giving the A bit of a rundown. We've decided to, go for two different coil types today, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, since I've used the 07s and a bunch of others before, you've decided to use the 07, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I've decided to give the 0.4 a bit of a go. Pure theory is like, I'm thinking it goes to 30 watts. What's it going to react with 70-30 juices? What have you decided? What juice was you?
Juice wise, I'm using my all-time favourite, the Banana Ice from Vape Dinner Lady.
And that's a 50-50 salt. So yeah, that's quite a high concentration of flavouring too. So yeah, Jess has been having a bit of a play about with hers. I'm going to have a quick fucking drag of mine straight away because, yeah.
So, mine's on.
I didn't even put the fucker on yet. Oh, that's because you said the power button was on the side. Yeah.
Rainbow on mine. It's great.
See, I've got this in turbo mode because for the pure reason is being a thicker juice.
Yeah.
I thought it might struggle a bit. They're only small batteries, aren't they? So
yeah, I mean, I've set mine for full power as well.
There'll be full power for the coil. That is.
There's 3 modes.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can switch up to wattage.
Well, I've got it on. So the 3 modes for this one. I'll have a little talk about that anyway. So you've got what is it? You've got SPT releases powerful clouds with a robust power output. That's what I've got it set on.
Basically, it's like a turbo mode.
Yeah. Normal, so provides the most comfortable vaping experience with a normal power output, and then eco.
So basically, you're hitting the higher wattage of what your coil produces. That's what they've broken that down into 3 levels. Like you'll have something like 12 watts for eco, 15 for fucking normal, or 18 for turbo mode or something, whatever it is. But yeah, what do you think flavour?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, I use the 07s quite a lot. I mean, I
had that open, so I'm going to close it and see if it makes a difference, because that was quite light.
I haven't actually checked the airflow on this one, actually.
That's quite a tough draw when it's closed. That's
what you call proper mouth to lung. Funny thing is, I can still do mouth to lung with the 0.4. It's just a bit warm.
I'll show you I'll show you the little rainbow lights on this.
She loves the rainbow. It's just the animation on this one that gets me.
The animation on that reminds me of an old school, you know, like the first like animated phones you got.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
That's a bit head rushy.
The thing is, they do it first, don't they?
Yeah.
Turbo, that's still super mode.
I'm going to try switching modes on this. I've got to refer back to the manual because I can't remember how to do it. So, you're into the manual.
I remember there was a way to fucking change the thing over. I think that was just depending on how it went. But yeah, I mean, I quite like. It's not bad. I mean, this is what is it? I'm using the mango cream soda I made. Give that a go.
It's not very strong flavour in that.
It's sweeter.
Yeah, very sweet.
The ice isn't very dominant in that.
Not at all.
But it's a lot more sweeter than what the other devices have brought it out at. I like that. It's a lot more better than this.
I prefer it with the ice.
You prefer it with the ice? If you take a deep enough jaw, you still get the ice kick. Right, if you try reducing the airflow a bit.
That's better.
Yeah. What did you think with
again, quite light on the flavour. I don't know if that's because I've got a bit of a sore throat at the moment. So
try with the airflow wide open. Keep in mind it's 70/30, so it's a bit thicker.
Taste buds aren't up to scratch at the moment anyway. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, when I made this juice, I didn't mean for it to be running at 30 watts. So, you know, the fact it's... I'm seeing bubble... You seeing bubbles in that pod?
Yeah.
So the fact that pod's keeping up with the 70/30 is pretty good. Because this usually worries me a little bit. Because a lot of people do... A lot of these pod kits now do have a lower own pod for 70/30s. But I didn't make this juice in mind for this kind of device, so I'm quite surprised how nice it's actually turned out.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of weight to it.
Yeah, it's definitely weighty. I like the on-off switch on yours.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy. There's no fucking about with.
And the fucking great thing is, if we get bored and switch out, there you go, you can use that. I fucking use that.
Yeah.
There you go, you can have a
Compatible
70/30.
pod. Yeah. Let's give that a go.
I did the setting almost switch over instantly to 30.
23.
Want the wattage up? There we go. I think that was one of the taller pods actually. I think I got like a mixture between tall pods and small pods. But yeah, I mean, what's the milliamps on this? I mean, the milliamps on this one's 1100 milliamps, so which isn't too bad. You know, I would still, especially considering the weight of the kit with the A, I would definitely still rather a bit more battery. I mean, it's a lot more flashier looking, but I would have still liked as much battery in that than I do in this, and this is 1300, babe. I would like as much battery in this than I would this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got more battery power than what that has. So you know, it turns out the Mini out of the new series has more battery capacity than all the others, like the G2. Also a good little device. I used the original one, so God knows wherever the fuck that went. Was it the P1S? This one. So a lot of people might have that. But yeah, it's kind of one of them. What are you trying to do? Change the wattage?
That's alright.
Should be simple as 2.
Yeah.
See, the good thing is you've got the mode boosters, which can do it in separate sections. But
Right, that's 30.
see, I prefer having just doing the wattage. It's easier. But I suppose that depends if you know what your wattage is on them, doesn't it?
Right. Oh, this is your juice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely makes a difference to the flavour.
Yeah, because it's not supposed to be run at 18 watts.
No.
The problem is if you run it at such a low temperature, so low wattage, the juice doesn't vaporise properly. So,
Can I have mine back now, please?
yep, swaps, swapsies.
Thank you.
Press power on 0 point. Just I mean, it's 2, 3, 4 mode. Super. I can't seem to find a proper that's locked. I can't seem to find a proper wattage dial on this, which will annoy me a little bit because, as I said, I'd like. Oh, there we go. Proper wattage dial. 1, 2, 3. I see different themes. There we go. See, what's your thoughts and verdicts on it?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's decent. And it's good that you can interchange pods.
What about ease of use?
Yeah, it's not so easy to use. I'm tired of navigating my way around it. I mean, when you look at the instructions, they're easy to follow. It takes some getting used to figure out the functions and get used to what's what without having to look at the manual, I think. But
do you think there's anything that's missing of that particular one?
I don't know,
I mean, keep in mind the type of device it is.
I don't know, I wouldn't say there's anything missing. I think it could be easier to changing the wattage.
What do you mean, like another button function?
Another...
Or even the moving of that button itself?
I'd prefer to have the wattage change on the menu.
So you'd rather... You can change it on the menu, though.
No, you can't. You can change the power mode, but the wattage change isn't on the menu.
What's that reading? 1.0.
It's what I mean. It's not.
There you go.
Yeah, how did you do it?
3 clicks, went into the power settings, and there we go.
Okay, it's just me being thick then. Cool.
But yeah, I think one of the things I don't particularly like about these pods, I mean, I love the flavour from the pods.
The flavour's good.
Yeah. But I think one of the things I think they need to think about doing is like an indicator of the correct wattage, either around the band or, if you look at the field tab, it's got its ohms.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe under that on the plastic bit have like a little input wattage, way.
That could fit anywhere on there.
Yeah. I mean,
couldn't it?
All fairness, yes, the device itself does read it, but for extra knowledge for the individual, I think that would be quite handy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the ITO coils, which are another additive if people want to use them, the actual coils themselves have a wattage on them. So, I mean, I use the ITO coils for that little drag cue up there. Yeah. And I was using for the Doric SEs, one of the little cigarette sticker-like ones. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, I think, to be fair, though, I think the Argus range is just fairly decent for what you get, And the funny thing is, I think the price I found for this little fucker, the Argus Mini, there was one of the companies had like a twin pack for like fucking 12 quid.
You can't go wrong with that, can you? Really?
No, exactly. I mean, essentially all they are starter devices. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about weight-wise? How do you think that feels?
Nice and lightweight. Nice for the pocket.
What about with the lanyard?
The other thing with this as well, the button's on top. So if it's in your pocket, it's less likely to misfire.
That is a good point, to be fair. That is a very good point.
You know, the ones in all of these devices with side
or front
buttons.
Could be
if you forget to lock it or turn it off, you get misfires. But with the button on top, that's a pretty good shout, to be fair. The lanyard holes look like a bit of a bugger, to be honest, because it's flat on one side.
To be fair, this is different. So, yeah, it is a bit of a funny lanyard one on the side of this. But
yours is better because it's like curved round the corner. This one's flat on the side, so it's a bit of a shit.
It used to be a loop for the previous model, where the button is. There used to be like a little hook loop thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, if they're putting a button function there, they'd have to put it somewhere else. See, I can't imagine putting a lanyard with this thing. It's too fucking heavy.
Too heavy, yeah. I'd say that's probably even too heavy to put on a lanyard with. I wouldn't want to have that weight around my neck.
No, I mean...
But, that's individual preference, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah. I mean, that's light as fuck.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's literally, even when you put the fucking pod in, this ain't going to take this pod, the powered pod anyway, but... If you get what I mean, this is still light as fuck. I mean, just use it for weight-wise. Yeah, there's fuck all to it, isn't there? So, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, as I said, I've been telling people the Argus pods are fucking fantastic. I don't think they're getting quite enough credit as they deserve, these pods, and they last fucking ages. I mean, when did I do this Argus pod?
But again, going back to the versatility of them as well, the fact that you can use them across the range, interchange and whatnot, you know.
I do think there's one or two exceptions. I think the 0.4 might be the exception. I think it's with this one. Or I could be wrong. Alright, this is the 0.4. But I've always said, though, if you're considering how many milliamps these kits are, I really wouldn't want to be trying to push the power out too much anyway. So if you're thinking 30 watts on a 30 watt device at 1000 milliamp, you're not going to get a full day usage out of it, are you?
No.
So, you know, I mean, if most people, if they use a 70-30, they're only using 3 milligram. So that's not really going to be enough for someone to kick the smokes, obviously depending how much they use.
Yeah.
So it's, and if you're thinking about a device that's going to last you all day, this is where I think people are going to be wanting to think about the 1.0s or the 1.2 ohm coil pods. That way they last longer. So yeah. On the plus side, I think that's a pretty good positive, though. I mean, there's tons in the series for people to choose from. So I think we should probably call that a day. Right, well, thank you, Voopoo, for sending out absolute shit tons of pod kits. As you can tell, we've fucking given them all a bit of a test up and a bit of a run through, and talked about coil compatibility within other videos. We've talked about VGPG ratios, especially with certain coils. I hope we've ticked all the boxes for the people that are just starting out, because it's not a fucking one hit wonder like here's your device, it suits everything. It don't fucking work like that, but that's life. That is fucking life. But at least if you've been enjoying the channel, you know you're going to get as much information as possible until your fucking brains bleed from your eyeballs. So I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and we'll catch you for another video soon.